Welcome back. Two really big races in Australia yesterday, won by two outstanding horses. Bucks Pride up at Doomben, winning for the second consecutive year the Robins Kitchen Cup, and Trista Love winning again in the Australasian Oaks. I like that Trista Love, don't you, Keith?
I think she's an outstanding filly. Been in love with her for quite a while. Bruce, yesterday she really went for a stroll. She won by 1.5 lengths. She has a terrific record now. She always had the Australasian Oaks in her keeping. And the other winner you mentioned from yesterday, Bucks Pride, he's a wonderful horse. Back-to-back wins in the Kitchens Cup, and he did it yesterday on a slow-rated track, and maybe that brought about the comeback defeat of Bint Masqué.
Yes, it was a terrific run. Max, I must pay you a compliment. I read the Sydney Morning Herald yesterday, and you tipped Trista Love, which is no big deal, at 2-1 on, but you did go very strongly for Bucks Pride. Well done.
Yes, well, firstly, Bruce, good morning. I wouldn't be getting too carried away with Trista Love. I think she's a good filly, but I question the depth of three-year-old staying form, particularly the fillies. What did she beat yesterday? She was twos on, she won like a twos on chance, but by gee, I think the opposition was very questionable. On the subject of Brisbane and Bint Masqué, that was Bint Masqué's best performance. Everything was against her, the condition, the seasoning of Bucks Pride, yet she fought back magnificently. I just wonder, though, how she'll come through a tough run like that. That's the query with her. If she comes through it well, she'll win the 10,000.
All right, let's have a look at the Kitchens Cup and see what you think about Bint Masqué and Bucks Pride, who's a mighty horse at Doomben.
Four abreast at the first corner, Cape Stad. Bint Masqué, Bucks Pride, Archie Keelia, Eads is fourth, All Our Mobbers fifth, and Big Dream sixth on the inside. Then Music Switch and Sublimate, followed by Silver Neon, Baggio and Burst Unequal. Deposition a long way back with Slight Chance, followed by Diamond Harbour, and last is Grand Trick. 600 out, Bint Masqué, the leader, a half Cape Stad on the inside. Bucks Pride third, Archie Keelia fourth but deep, and then Big Dreams on the inside of All Our Mob. Two away, Baggio, followed by Silver Neon, Music Switch and Burst and Sublimate, and Diamond Harbour a long way back. Into the straight, Bint Masqué just in front of Cape Stad. Bucks Pride on the outside and Archie Keelia, All Our Mob running home well, followed by Big Dreams. Past the 200, the filly, Bint Masqué, she fought on, she got away. A neck, Bucks Pride trying to go with her. All Our Mob finishing well. Bint Masqué and Bucks Pride, All Our Mob on the outside. Bucks Pride's got the Bint Masqué, her conditions given out, Bucks Pride. Bucks Pride has beaten Bint Masqué and All Our Mob, but a great run first up, the filly. Then came Baggio, followed by Big Dreams.
Well, two great horses fighting out the finish there. Bucks Pride, race fitness told in the end, but Bint Masqué's back. Max is right. If that run hasn't taken something out of her, she's going to be so competitive in anything she contests from now on.
Interesting with the weights too, Max. Shane Scriven's now going to struggle to make the weight with Bucks Pride. There's been a bit of a battle going on between Adelaide and Brisbane this week. Some trainers complaining their horses have been given too little weight in feature events. Yes,
well, perhaps this is so, but nevertheless, I think major racing centres are entitled to compete for the best horses. This was the case, I think, in the Autumn Carnival, Sydney and Melbourne. Melbourne did take on Sydney, come off second best, might I add, too. But nevertheless, I encourage that competition. And when we say that horses are well in, good horses have still got to win. Bint Masqué has 50 in the Doomben 10,000, certainly on a run yesterday. She looks hurled into the race, but I still think he'll get set at a reasonable price. So it'll be a competitive race, and no, on this score, I'm not going to take handicappers or race clubs on.
I differ a bit, Max. Most of the weights are under 50 kilos. Most of our riders weigh more than 50 kilos. And on the Clash of the Carnivals, I think that will end this year. The Queensland winter racing people want them to be separated, and I think that's more sensible.
It is a bit ridiculous, I think, when the Goodwood handicaps run on the same day as the Doomben 10,000, as it used to be called. Adelaide only gets one real crack at top racing, and Brisbane does go for a long time. It would be terrific to see those two races.
Quick mention of Adelaide for no special reason, but Rich Dreams is going to the Adelaide Cup on a strange course, Bruce. She smashed the record in a hurdle race at Sandown yesterday, and her next start will be in the Adelaide Cup, where she will attempt to be the first mare for 13 years to win that race.
It's quite amazing, isn't it? She won the Duke of Norfolk, didn't she?
Yes, and she's got, I think, 3.5 kilos less than her winning weight in the Duke of Norfolk.
Gentlemen, what about these two sprints? Do you think they're going to be lacking in quality? Don't you think we've got enough sprinters to fill these two races quite well? I think that both the Doomben 10,000 and the Goodwood will be good races.
I think they'll be pretty good races, but there would be a couple of horses that would probably go to both. We have a situation maybe with Chiliad. He'd probably have a chance. he may be saved now for the Stradbroke, but don't you think he'd be capable of running in both of those races?
I doubt it, knowing Chiliad. I don't think he would stand the pressure at this stage of his career, but nevertheless, that's an arguable point.
Max, not if they were on the same day, he'd struggle, I know. Let's have a look at your Trista Love, Max. I'm with Keithy on this. I like her a lot.
Now they pack as they come down the side. They're working towards the 850. Pre-Packer's Dream, after being 8 in front, is now 1 in front. They've come to her quickly as he gives her a breather. Second placing is Trista Love, getting a lovely run. Cyclone Watch is 3 deep and will come deep on the swing. Just behind them, Brompton Cross, and Our Mess is breathing down there next now to 4th. Further back behind those, Pindy's running on out wide. Trivia Lass is under pressure. Futile likewise, sedately Shaggy Bob Ascona, and down on the inside was Cushy. But Trista Love, given a inch of rain, has slipped to the lead. Pindy's coming out of the pack running on, and there too was Our Mess. They've got away from Pre-Packer's Dream. Pindy's a bit of a threat. Trista Love the leader. Pindy's running a big race. Our Mess further back to Futile. He's had to go for Trista Love. Pindy's run a very cheeky race. Trista Love will hang on. It's going to get the money, I'm sure, but what a run by the bolter, Pindy. It's Trista Love winning the Schweppes Group 1 Australasian Oaks. A length and 3/4, Pindy, a huge run. Our Mess third.
Now going for the same double as her stablemate did last year, our Trista Love. My only query with her, with the double, the SA Oaks, is that the SA Oaks is over 2,400. That race yesterday, 2,000. I just have a little query about her being a genuine stayer.
Yes, she'll run in the South Australian Oaks and win it, but that may not prove your point, Bruce, because that quality might not be as good as the 2,400 metre races that we saw in the spring for fillies. But she's something special, and unlike most staying fillies, she's got the ability to take a position, so therefore she avoids the risk of bad luck when making a run like most of our staying fillies have to do.
We're almost starting to agree with you, aren't we, Max? We better be careful. What do you think of her at 2,400?
Well, I think she's just got too much class for that type of horse that she beat yesterday. I do think she would have won the AJC Oaks. But again, I warn you, you fellas are a little impressionable that the quality of 3-year-old fillies as far as staying is concerned is not overwhelming this season. She'll beat this class of horse over any journey.
Yeah, well, you've been right before, so I won't argue with you too much on that. I want to ask you about Monday, the Memorial Cup. Is it true that Max Lees admitted afterwards that one of the horses played the role of a pacemaker, which we don't use in Australia?
Yes, well, there has been criticism of staying races recently that they haven't been run at a true tempo. So Max Lees put Real Ptolemy into the event to make the pace for a potential star. Now, he did this. Had Real Ptolemy got out 25 lengths and been beaten half a furlong, you would have said, no, this is not acceptable. But Real Ptolemy ended up about 5th, beaten under 3 lengths, ran a good race, but ensured a reasonably run tempo for potential star. Now, it might have beaten the favourite Patara's Bay, might have made him carry his 56.5, but I think it was legitimate, acceptable tactics, and certainly we might see more of it in future.
Trainers have been doing it for years here, having a pacemaker in a race. It's just that they haven't been admitting it.
Well, the whole point about it is a pacemaker is okay as long as that the pacemaker isn't sent out to run his first 6 in 110 and then drop right out of the race, which Real Ptolemy did. Real Ptolemy was rated very nicely in front, ran a good race, and for that reason, I think it's acceptable.
Well, tomorrow, Brave Warrior runs at Doomben with Mick Dipman back in the saddle in the Coca-Cola Stakes. He's the hot horse at the moment. And the news from overseas this morning, Mr. Bailey's is 7-1 favourite for the English Derby after winning the 2,000 guineas. Robert Sangster's horse, Colonel Collins, was 3rd. And Sangster won the 1,000 guineas on Thursday night. That's it, Keith?
That's it, and a big week ahead, as you said, Brave Warrior tomorrow, and Tuesday starts the 3-day Warrnambool Carnival, Bruce, and that's an exciting start. 10 races on the first day of the trio.
Good on you, Max. Good punting, mate.
One word, 2 words, Al Jazi.
Oh, that's a Freedman horse. It's a good 2-year-old. Thank you, Max. I thought I almost had him speechless for the first time ever. A break. Soccer after this is a big day. Eddie Thompson joins us, the Socceroo coach.
Vidmar lines it up and calls it in there! The game needed a goal. It's taken.